Hello and welcome everyone. It's another beautiful day to be in the outside. In my last video I was showing my thoughts on getting started with the wing and landboard / mountain board. We looked at first runs and the conditions that you need to get yourself whizzing along the sand. There's a link at the end of the video if you want it. So as a natural progression from there, I'd like to have a quick look at how to do longer non-stop runs by turning and heading back the other way without having to stop. Well, that's the idea anyway. So let's get into it. Once you're up and whizzing along across the wind, the easiest way to turn without stopping is to go with the wind, not against it. So during the actual transition of the turn, you will be heading directly downwind, all being well, in a nice arc that leads you riding across the wind in the other direction back to where you started from. This manoeuvre is called a jibe. If you turn the other way, into the wind rather than downwind, that would be a tack. Now I'm from the UK, so I've checked with the Queen and she really does prefer jibe to be spelled G-Y-B-E. But if you prefer to J-I-B-E or spell it any other way, then that's totally fine with me, as long as we're still talking about the same thing. In order to jibe, I first need to be sure that I have enough space and a good surface to roll on. Once I've spotted my likely turning area, the turn itself really happens in 3 stages, all linked together in one continuous manoeuvre. Firstly, you need to instigate the turn. I do this by pressuring the toe edge of the board, leaning more on my toes just as you would turn a skateboard. Pushing your hips forward helps too. Then secondly, as you start your change in direction, you need to reposition the wing so that you're ready to sheet in the wing and power away once you've come around. Thirdly, you twist at the hips as you start to run in the other direction. This then leaves you riding out of the turn on your toe side. This can be tricky and leave you in a bit of a painful tangle, but we'll come to that in a minute. So let's break it down some more. Here I am whizzing along on a nice bit of sand, thinking about turning. I'm riding across the wind in a regular stance with my left foot forward on the board. Then I start to lean in towards the wing, pushing more pressure on my toes and tilting my hips forward to get a nice curved direction change. I then need to switch my hand positions on the wing handles, ready to go the other way. I found speed helps here, though it took some time to get confident. A good speed will keep the board rolling as you turn, so you don't just roll to a stop mid-manoeuvre. I let go of the back handle and with the same hand take hold of a front handle. Then I can let go with my original hand from the front handle and place that on one of the back handles. Still with me? This can be a bit of a fiddle at first, but as with everything, it becomes much more slick with practice, and before long it feels quite natural. This hand change ensures that the front or leading edge of the wing is always in the correct position facing the oncoming wind. My top tip on a successful jibe is setting up properly. I find it works best if you edge slightly upwind by leaning on your heels a little, gather some speed, then when you're ready, you quickly shift all of your weight forward to initiate the turn. So coming out of the turn, you're going to be twisted at the hips. It can be a very difficult position to hold for long. If you try and track upwind too early, it can be quite hard to keep the wind in the wing, and you may quickly grind to a halt. What I have found is that it's easier if you continue riding very slightly downwind, or at least straight across the wind. Getting back up to speed by not edging at all upwind really helps here. Once you're going faster, you can then slowly start to edge upwind and put more pressure through your heels to then start the next turn to complete one huge great figure of 8 back to where you started from. In the right winds, I find this really fun to do. It's a great thing to practice and build skills. Turning feels really good. It's satisfying when you get it right. I think it even sounds good. The next thing I'd like to work on is hopping the board round 180. It's going to take some practice. I've tried and I know it's achievable.
1, 2.
Again, it's going to take some practice before things happen naturally. Well, I hope you found that useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. The winds are a little bit fickle around here today, but they'll be back. So if you want to join me for my next adventure, be sure to subscribe and we'll see you again soon on the outside.